Well, I am so excited today because after illness, after her parents abandoned her little 30-year-old self, after stuff going on with my kids, I finally have Tesia Mae here on Momstrosity podcast, and I'm so excited. Tesia, thank you for taking time out of your very, very busy schedule to be a guest on Momstrosity today. I'm really excited for you to be here.
I'm equally as excited. Thank you for having me.
Yes. We were just talking about, and I wanted to make sure because it is March. It is Women's History Month, and I feel like there is no better way to highlight who I perceive as powerful, wonderful women on Momstrosity than during Women's History Month. I have known Tesia for, do we even want to say how many years? It's a long time.
No.
It's going to age us. A long time. But I met her as a little sophomore cheerleader. I had moved to where I went to high school, and we cheered together, and I got to look up to her as a role model. And you guys, the things that social media will show you about somebody's journey, and I don't want to obviously speak for you, but you have just climbed your ladder of life while still trying to have your career in music. I think that is insane. But when they say a self-made woman, I can tell you, you are one of the first women that truly genuinely come to mind that I personally know. I swear.
That's all chills. I really appreciate hearing that.
Yes, you have always just all the time I'm like, oh, she got that car, she got her house, she's working 2 jobs. Oh, we've got 3 jobs now. Oh, and
Right.
we're getting ready to drop music. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think it's just really important for you to kind of share your journey. Talk about what music means to you, how it empowers and fulfills you, and then we'll get into it later on. But I know you've got a surprise coming up for us in April that we'll get into later. But maybe kind of just tell us about Tesia Mae and the journey of womanhood for you.
Yes. So I would say, after high school, I was kind of on a journey to, really find myself.
Yeah.
Growing up in a small town, you kind of have pressures of, who you should be, who people want you to be, all of the things that really you battle with as you grow into a woman,
Yes.
as you get older. And after high school, I moved to Louisville. I was there for a couple of years. I worked in the bar industry, met a lot of great people, had a lot of fun.
Yes.
Um, I ended up moving back to Scott County after probably about 5 to 6 years. And when I came back, I was going through a really bad breakup. Had, went through physical and mental abuse
Mm,
in my relationship. And when I came back, one day my brother was in his music room and he said, "Let's make some music."
yeah.
And, I had tried and done so many things up until that point. And, I'm somebody constantly learning, constantly
Right.
growing, always looking for new opportunity. And I can't say that I wasn't successful in life. I just wasn't fulfilled in life at that time.
I love that. Oh my gosh. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Say that again. Oh my
I can't say
gosh.
that I wasn't successful in life. I just was not fulfilled in life.
Mm,
Yes. Yes.
yes.
Okay.
Somebody put that on a t-shirt very quickly. I
Well,
love that.
right. And I would say, just that interaction with my brother and us starting to dive into music, it really just changed my outlook on so many things. Because, when I was growing up, I loved to sing. I
Yeah.
just, matter of fact, I think my mom told me I was humming before I could even talk. So before I could even form words,
Right.
I knew that I wanted to sing. But, as you get older, life finances, responsibilities. You know, I can't say that there weren't anyone around me that didn't support my music,
Sure.
but people always told me to also be realistic. Always have a backup plan, always have something to fall back on. And I did that, for years.
Right.
And when I came home and I started making music with my brother, girl, something in me just it woke up.
It was like,
And
yeah.
yes, and it made me realize we can do all of the things that our parents want us to do, that
Mhm.
society wants us to do, that our friends and the group of people we're around at the time. Listening to your internal voice, listening to your intuition, and
Mhm.
those little side nudges that tell you you should be doing something more. There's
Yes.
something more. You have a purpose out there that you just haven't discovered yet. Keep searching until you find it.
And you just feel like empty. It's like, I battle with that a lot. I think we fall into this, well, I'm only successful because this is what my job title is, or I'm only successful because I'm a mom or I'm a wife or I'm a this, like, and but then you just like, it's like something's missing.
Right?
Something is missing, and I don't feel like I am what I want to do. Like, I'm not there. This isn't what I'm destined to do. And you yearn
Right.
for it until you fulfill what you're searching for. I agree with that.
And I'm glad you said that too, because, it's no surprise I'm in my 30s. And, coming from a small town, out here, I feel like all of my friends had kids young, got
Yep.
married young.
Yep.
And, the closer I got to 30, of course, I still want those things, but
Mhm.
I feel I chased and I can't say wasted years because I learned a lot of things from those relationships, but I think that I tried to find fulfillment outside of me, because of those societal things that people put on you.
Yes.
And it's like, once I started to do music, once I started to really walk in my purpose, you know, it's crazy because behind closed doors, you see somebody and you think, girl, you got it going on.
Yes.
But, I also look around at the people my age that have been married, that have had kids. And for the longest time, I did not feel like I was where I needed to be in life because I did not have those things.
Yes.
And girl, now, I don't know, now that I'm walking in my purpose, it's like I don't I don't think about those things like I used to
Mhm.
because I think that we all have a different timeline. We all
Yes.
have things in life that are important. Some people want to be a mom, some people want to be a wife. That is what their
What they
focus
want
is.
to do. Yes.
And for me, I know when the time is right, I'll have those things.
Mhm.
But right now, my purpose is music and, spreading my story and the journey of, who Tesia Mae is through my music.
Yeah, and I think I love that you said, like, everybody's on different journeys, and I talk about this. I love being a wife. I love being a mom. I we had to have kiddos early. Like, I think I got pregnant with Jackson, like, the year of my 21st birthday, when you're supposed to be going out and, doing the things, and it's like, but I have to remember, like, that's a timeline for me. I have PCOS, and so when a doctor looks at you and is like,
Right.
"Hey, you may never have children if you don't try now while things are a little bit normal." And I knew I always wanted to be a mom. But I also think society puts pressure on, like, especially girls, that from a young age, your job is to be a wife, a mom, cook, clean, do the things. And it's like, traditionally, I kind of weaved into that, like, from the sake of, I knew I wanted to be a mom. I didn't want the time to snap on me. But
Right.
also, it's like, I don't want my daughter to feel those pressures. And I didn't feel the
Yeah.
pressure outside of the fertility, but the world puts that pressure on young girls and women, that is how you are successful and satisfied. It's not ever, what's your degree? People approach, or what do you do for a job? It's, hey, are you married? Do you have kids? And it's like,
Right.
we've got to shift that narrative, because my kids, let me tell you, I'll commit whatever felonies I need to. I'll commit whatever murders, like that TikTok of, "Would you kill for your kids?" Uh-huh. A-town
Of
beatdown.
course.
Immediately call an attorney.
Call
Right now, I
Crystal
would.
City.
I would, but I'm not serving my children if I'm also not serving my purpose, because how can I tell them, go live your dreams, go chase your dreams. If I'm also not doing things that make me feel fulfilled outside of being a mom, that'll always be my favorite title. But I know that I am also destined to do other things, and society has got to be more welcoming to that. And not to mention, I probably wouldn't be married, but like my husband's the only one that would tolerate the crazy.
I get that.
So I was like, "Ugh, reel him in really fast." But
Huge.
it's funny because like I had friends obviously getting married later in life, having children later in life, and I look around, I'm like, man, like you have time. This
Right?
whole early 20s, like, gotta do it, get it done. That's it. You have time. You don't have to
Right?
do it. You're not on anybody's timeline but your own. Like,
I agree.
and I said it in my last like comparison is the thief of joy. You cannot be happy with what you have if you're too busy looking at what everybody else has and comparing your life to theirs. You will be so miserable, so unfulfilled, and feeling like you're chasing a wheel that you will
Right.
never ever get off of. But we have to do a better part about not immediately saying, "Hey, when do you want to get married? When do you want to have kids?" When you talk to women, it needs to be, what's your goals in life? What are your goals in life? What do you want to do? What dreams are you chasing? Doesn't always have to equate to children, family. Like that can come later down the road, but we should start like lifting women up. Women lift economies. You know, we're not just here to make babies. Like we are here to
Right?
make impacts and we deserve a seat at the table. I am not doing
Yes,
my
ma'am.
daughter any favors by not showing her she belongs in any seat that her brother or my husband are entitled to. We've got to do it.
Yes, ma'am. I agree.
We
I love
definitely
hearing
have
you
to.
say that too.
Yeah.
You know, and I do feel, us, this new generation, I feel like we're stepping into that.
Yes.
We watched
Yes.
our parents, work those 9 to 5 jobs, and no, hey,
No
I
shit.
have
No,
a nine
hey,
to five
got to do
job,
what you got to do. Yeah.
but that is not everything. Just like what we talked about, at the end of the day, there is so much more to life than all of the things that we've been taught.
Yes.
And, if anybody can take anything away from me, people tell me all the time, I hope you make it big one day. I hope you make it big one day. And Kelsey, do you know what I tell every single person?
Mm,
If my music has touched people, just one person, the way
yes.
music has touched me, gotten me through my happy times, my sad times, my in between times, if
Mm-hmm.
I can do that, I have fulfilled my purpose.
Yes.
I have I have walked the path that I've trusted myself. I've trusted my gut, my intuition. I have walked that path and I've helped somebody the way music's helped me.
Exactly. And music is just like so, I just can't explain it. It's like, a mood you're in, you're like, I know what song I need to feel. If I need to cry, this is the album. I know if I'm angry and I like want to knock somebody's brains loose, I literally have a
Yep.
playlist on my Apple music and it is Divorce Dad Rock because like, oh girl, we went through it, okay? And so it's like but it just like if you really can be on that wavelength of how music can impact you, a chord just hits you just the right way. Like I love music and I talk about it a lot in my episodes where I'm like, you guys are gonna hear me comparing my life to a song right now. And it's
Right.
like, and I'll hum it out or whatever because it's like I hear it all the time. Billie Eilish, What Was I Made For? That's been a big one lately. Like it's like, music can just open your soul and say things that you can't say to others. I'll send a song to my
Right.
husband and be like, this is how I'm feeling today. I just listen to it or like send something to my mom and be like, listen to this song. Like, I can't explain how I feel. This will explain to you how I'm feeling. Music is
Right.
therapeutic. It is beautiful. It's impactful. So I love that you said that because even one person, it matters. One
It
person
does.
matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting. It is so exciting. And you've had like a few different singles drop that are more, I would say more like R&B, more like ooh, get you in the mood kind of thing, like, like feeling all about yourself. But I really want to dive into cuz next month you're dropping a new single and you've kind of given me a little insight to what it's about and kind of your roots, but I want you to explain what it is, when it's coming, why you wrote it, because it's a genre shift for you a little bit, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So, April 14th, I'm releasing a single, Country Roots. And, you know, I kind of wanted to do this single. Well, let me back up and say this. I'm working on this project to release an EP.
All
Within that
right.
project, it is gonna be just a showcase of what I can do as an artist.
I love that.
Like you said, I'm known for pop, I'm known for R&B. When my brother and I first launched our music, I was in there with some of the rap songs and, throwing hooks and choruses on that. So Country Roots, I co-wrote with Hunter Lambert. And when I walked into the studio this day, and this is kind of my process with writing with Hunter and the team that I work with, she said, "What do you want to write? What do you want to talk about today?" And, as I have explored my music journey, I have found so much out about myself in the process.
Yeah.
You know, just found who I am, not only
Mhm.
in music, but who I am as Tesia Mae.
Yes.
And in this project, I wanted to write a country song for my country roots.
I love it.
So I am obviously from Austin,
Mhm.
but my family roots are from Hazard, Kentucky. I have heard stories all of my life with my papaw talking about, picking and grinning in the
Mhm.
hills and,
Down the
all of my
holler.
people
Down there in
neighbors.
the
Exactly.
holler.
Yes, yes. And I just wanted to I don't know, I just wanted to show people that I'm so much more than putting myself in a box and saying, "I'm a pop artist. I'm a
Mhm.
R&B artist. I, as Tisha May, I'm an artist." And the beautiful thing about music is it's universal. It
Yes.
brings all of us together, whether we're from the country, whether we're from the city, no matter what our culture is. And I wanted to write Country Roots to just showcase who I am as an artist, which is whatever I wake up that day and wanna be.
Exactly. Which
Yeah,
hat am I putting on today?
exactly.
Exactly.
Am I
Yes.
waking up with my hillbilly personality from Scott County today? Because I sound like a hillbilly no matter what I do.
Oh my gosh, I tell people all the time, I'm like, actually, our language around here is Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Exactly.
Because much of my family is from Hazard, Kentucky too. So like when you started on that, I'm like, yep, I can hear the banjos in the distance right now.
Exactly. And depending on what I say, I'm like, "Girl, you didn't have to
Yeah.
do it the
Yeah.
accent."
Uh-huh.
But, like I said, it just depends on who I wake up as that day. And, my parents are DJs now, they DJ on
Yes.
the side. But when I was growing up, they played everything. Hair bands, uh, the ballads and R&B, old school R&B,
Right. The
Keith
good
Whitley, all
stuff.
of the things.
Yes.
And when people have asked me, "Who are you as an artist? Who are your influences?" Girl, I'm all across the board.
Yes. Yep.
Fleetwood Mac, Keisha Cole, Aretha Franklin, Keith,
All
you know,
over.
all of these people. So with Country Roots, I just wanted to showcase, one, my country roots,
Yes.
and two, as I make music and I listen to other artists and other songs, I wanted to write Country Roots about a night in the life out here in Scott County.
Yeah.
I throw the thirsty sportsman in the song,
Okay.
okay?
Yes.
Because it's our local watering hole.
Yep.
I'm there. You can catch me often. Taco Tuesday, free pool, karaoke with TJ Entertainment on Fridays.
Yes.
So Country Roots was so fun to write and create because it just showcases that other side of Tisha May that people probably don't get to see.
Right. And it's funny because I talk with, so my best friend is Cuban and all the time she'll give me grief and she's just like, it's crazy to me. You're not even like in Kentucky and you sound like Kentucky. And I'm like, listen, do not let my great grandma Barrett come flying out of my mouth because the minute that like comes, game over.
It's
Like,
over. Yep.
my grandma would tell me about a story and she'd say, "Yeah, I remember one time this lady," and they lived up on Wade Street, okay? Austin. So,
Okay.
okay. And I guess this woman had come out in the middle of the road and she was like, Sophie Barrett, you get out here, I'm gonna whoop you. And she'd stand at the screen door and she'd said, I'd never, be with the likes of you and act like an alley cat out there in the middle of the street. And she'd shut her door. But I'm telling you, the minute that version of me, or even my great grandpa Bruce, comes out of me, all bets are off. But it's so nurturing in a way because it's like seeing those characteristics of the people that really built you and like put the puzzle piece together, whether genetically or influentially, if they're like not blood related, but they're still family or somebody that impacted you. And it's like a melting pot of who you become, you know?
Yeah,
And that's what I love about our community too. Like it's small, but like we come together, we take care of each other. Yeah, we may fight and argue, but it's just different. Everybody's either from Kentucky or obviously they're from here. I mean, my dad's side of the family more so from Hazard, but um it's really neat to see and kind of connect those dots. Like when you said, "Hey, this song's about Hazard," I think of my nanny and papa Hicks because they were from there. And you go to the little duck house, and I think you probably know what I'm talking about. And the poor thing got knocked over, but your roots are so important, and they may be good, they may be bad, but they still paved a way for you to make a decision about your life and what things you want to take with you as your journey continues on. And I'm sure that's probably a lot of what you were thinking when you wrote this song.
you're exactly right. Yes,
Ooh,
ma'am.
ooh, ooh. So when it comes to writing, what do you feel is like challenging for you? Is it, putting the lyrics together? Is it building out? Like what is so challenging for you as you write your music and you kind of like you said, you genre hop a little bit because you're an artist, not a stuck in one place artist. What's challenging for you when you do that?
So, something that I have learned along my music journey, I have strengths in some areas, I have things to still work on
Right.
in other areas. So, right now, I actually have the lady I was speaking of earlier, Hunter Lambert.
Yeah.
I work with her and she helps me co-write songs. The structure of a song is really hard for me.
Yeah.
Um, Rhyming, putting words together is not.
Yeah.
Singing
Mhm.
is not. Um, but previously when I did music with my brother, he wrote and he produced everything.
Right.
So now I'm working with a team for my solo album. They kinda do the same thing. So I'm there, we bounce ideas off of each other. When I come in, I say, "This is what I wanna write about today." I throw in keywords like country roots, thirsties,
Yeah.
queens. I
Yes.
throw in those things, and Hunter and I collaborate back and forth until we have a masterpiece.
Ugh.
And all of the songs that I have done so far, she has co-wrote with me. So it's been a
Oh,
collaboration.
so
Yes.
you know it
So it's
works together. You guys funnel well with each other. Yeah.
We do. She also sings, she's an artist, and we're so similar with each other.
Love
And,
it.
since I have been on this journey, I have realized when you connect with somebody and things just flow, those are your people.
Yes.
The
Yes.
first time I met Hunter, we wrote a song within 45 minutes.
Oh
I
gosh.
mean, immediately we wrote that song together and we were looking around the room like, "Okay, this is
This is
it,
flowing. You
girl."
don't want it
Like,
to stop. Yes.
yes. So it's always that same energy with her and I. So I would say not really a lot of difficulty with writing, but I do go through times where I don't feel as inspired as I do,
That would
in
be
other.
hard. Yeah.
And I think, of course, that kinda goes along with my personal life, how things are going. Am I very busy, doing just acoustic gigs out in the bars and restaurants? Am I drained from my day job? That kind of just depends on where I'm at mentally.
Exactly. Exactly. I feel like and that's songwriting, that's life in general. There'll be times it's like you're so, oh, I've got this goal, but it's like again, the work drained me. Kiddos needed me. I'm running 50 different things and it's like you just don't feel it and you kind of get in this like slump and you just wonder, okay, what's going to drag me out of it? And 9 times out of 10, it's doing the damn thing. It's
Right.
just a matter of it's like, if I could just get through the wall, if I could just get over whatever it is impacting me, I'm gonna be on that other side of things to do the things that bring me joy and make me feel fulfilled. Going back to that fulfillment, that we were talking about earlier, I think we have that control. I feel like we stand in the way of our dreams, our hopes, our ambitions, our admirations, whatever. We are what stands in front of us. Yeah, we want to say it's money. Yeah, we want to say it's time. Yeah, we want to say it's this or that. But it's like all successful people still somehow made their way around about those things 9 times out of 10 just
Right.
because they stopped fighting with themselves and they saw themselves as a partner and not the enemy of what's in front of them. That is the biggest thing I think even I struggle with, and I think women struggle with that. I feel like we are always our worst enemy of again, I talked about it last time, like moving that goalpost back. You hit what you thought was your goal and then you keep moving it back and you never feel like you made it. You never feel like it's enough. And you have to find the balance of being enough, more than enough.
When I listened to that episode, I was running through this house. I said, "Is she talking to me?
Are there cameras in my house
'Cause
right
that's
now?
me."
Is she
Okay.
here? But we're all guilty of it. We're all
We
guilty
are.
of it. Ugh. Mm.
And in some aspects, I like that about myself. I
Yes.
love that I do that because I'm always wanting more, whether that be financially, whether that be knowledge, whether that be experience. But
Yes.
sometimes that does get exhausting because, like you said, it's always moving that goalpost. And when am I ever going to say, girl, at 30, you've done some great
You've
things,
done it.
but that is a hard thing to do.
It is so complicated because like again, I'm busy being like, "Ah, that friend has this going for them. That friend's got this." And it's like, "What do you have going for you?" Like take a look
Right.
around and it's like it's really not that bad when you really genuinely look at it and you see it as all the things you were successful in. That's going to empower you. We like to be really more focused on the negative things and not the positive things that we do in our life. And then it's always, I never did enough today. I'm not feeling it. And then you slowly like lose yourself. You slip away and you stop being ambitious. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Last year for the podcast, she was gone for a year, and it's because like genuinely it was one of the worst years I think I've ever had in my life. But having this space back, I'm looking around. I'm like, girl, why did we walk away from this
Right.
podcast? Because not only did I need me, other people needed me too.
We needed
Ah,
you.
and I need to be needed in the best way because, like, that just keeps me going. You've got to find the why. It always circles back to why in the hell am I doing this to begin with? And when you remember that, I feel like that just keeps you going down the track when you get stuck or there's a car in the middle of the train track that you're trying to get around. I think we owe it to ourselves to stop standing in the way of our own success because 9 times out of 10, we are the problem. As my dear friend Taylor Swift said, it's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. We are. And I feel like you've probably experienced that. You've been chasing this music dream for a long, long time, for a very long time. I can even remember before I knew you, my cousin Megan had, like, when you were younger, one of your little EPs on LimeWire. And I was like, who is this girl? She's like, oh, I go to school with her. Like, you've just been chasing it and chasing it. And it's like you're going to have that breakthrough. Even if right now you're just impacting others, it takes time. It takes time. Do you feel like that's been
Time
the
and
journey for you?
consistency. Time and consistency.
Yes.
And like you said, even if it's not as consistent as other people think you should be, or even yourself, get up and keep putting in that effort.
Yes.
It does not matter how long the breaks are in between. As
Yes.
long as you keep putting in that intention and you stay
Yes.
consistent, you're going to see results.
Yes, and that's with anything. I mean, it's crazy to me how we get to like the first hurdle of things and we're like, that's too hard. I'm not doing that. I'm turning right back around. But on the other side of that was $1 million. What are you
Right.
doing? Like the pot of gold was right there and you were so
Yep.
close. It's like, how long are we going to keep giving up on that so close when literally on the other side, there is the success. There is the I made it moment. We have to stop being comfortable with being stagnant just because things are hard. We can't
Right.
do that to ourselves. Like,
Mhm.
what was it? It's like Tina Fey was broke and whatever at 23, Oprah and like other women. And it was like, and then by age whatever, that's when they got their breakthrough moment. So you just haven't gotten there yet.
Yes,
You just
ma'am.
haven't made it. And now you're in your 30s. I'm coming up on year 30 this year. And I used to be afraid of it. I'm excited. The 20s were a shit show. Girl, they were a
Yes.
shit show. Like, I barely remember them. But as I'm getting into my 30s, I'm like, "Oh, what am I gonna do with these next 10 years now that
Yeah.
I've kinda struggle busted?" I mean, you're living that now, like, how does it feel kind of turning that dial into this new age, essentially?
Girl, I was the same way. When I got closer to my 30s, I was like, "What is happening? Life is
Yep.
passing me by.
Yep.
Life is just beginning. In your
Yes.
30s, it's just getting started."
Just starting.
For my 30th birthday, I had just bought a house. I bought a house by myself, just
Did it.
toughing it out,
I
getting in
love
there.
seeing it too. Ah.
For my birthday, every year I celebrate the whole month. If you ask my dad, he says, "Girl, you think you're a Kardashian?"
Uh-huh.
I don't know who celebrates all month, but Tesia Mae, okay?
Um,
She
correct. And we do. Okay?
Right. But for my 30th birthday, I had bought a house and everybody was like, "Where's the planning? Where's the birthday?" And I said, "This year I want to have a housewarming party.
Ugh,
And I just want all of the people that have been with me on this journey and that have watched me,
in my
go
home.
from moving back home with my parents after, a bad breakup and having to
Yes.
start completely over, girl. And in your 20s, like, that's embarrassing.
It
That's,
is. It's
all
hard.
of the things. But to me, girl, it was just a step on my path.
Mhm.
Thank gosh I have wonderful parents. They
Yeah.
are rocking with me.
Yes. Oh,
I love them. They're
your
staying with me.
parents, some of the best people. I always loved your mom, but it killed me. Like, does she age? I'm serious.
No, no, and hopefully I don't either. I look
I hope
just
you got
like
those
her.
genetics because the woman does not age. Oh my God. And she's just funny. She's hilarious. She's a good old time.
She is. So, on my 30th birthday, I had the housewarming party. I love Alanis Morissette. There's this specific
Yes.
song, "You Learn," and the song says, "You live, you learn,
Mm,
you love, you learn,
I got
you
chills because I know
bleed,
exactly what, look at that.
you
Oh,
learn."
yes.
And girl, I've listened to that song so many times, just throughout the seasons of my life. And I had a playlist going when I was here getting ready to blow out the candles, and that song was playing in the back.
Oh,
And I cried because I was so overwhelmed with, like we talked about, there were so many times, girl, I got up, I fell back down. I got
mhm.
up, I fell back down. Just the motions of life, the things that we go through. But in that moment, it was like, I have pursued music. I have become, to me, I have done more with music the past couple years than I ever could have imagined.
Right.
Ever little Tisha could have imagined.
I know, Miss Music Video Girl, like, the all of it. Yes.
And I looked around the room. I looked at my house. I just looked at all I have faced over the years. And girl, it was just such a bittersweet moment to be like, you know what? It's okay. All of
Mhm.
the ups and downs, it's made it worth it to get here. And, to me, I felt like I'm behind in life. I
Yes.
let good years of my life pass me by, wasted with people that probably didn't even deserve my energy nor my
Mhm.
space.
Mhm.
And, I just looked around like, okay, this feels, I finally feel like I'm in a place where I'm confident in myself. I'm sure in myself. When I pull up to a table, girl, it's not what do you bring to the table? It's baby, I am this table.
Uh-huh,
This
and the
is
buffet over
me.
there too, you see it? That's also me. I brought it all.
Right. Okay. Yes.
Ugh, it is. It's so funny because, like, I think about that a lot of the times too. I really used to worry about who liked me, who was talking about me, who at the end of the day, mm, somebody's gotta pay my bills, so
Right.
keep
Right.
on, keep
Exactly.
on. Because there's things that you get as you get older, and if you are a young teenager listening to this, oh my gosh, and you remember it? I mean, the catty drama and the, "Oh, they're talking
Yes.
about me. They started this rumor about me." I'm at this point now, I'm like, "Wait, they said what about me? You know
What
what?
have
I'm gonna
said?
pretend that's true because that's actually they said I did that? Okay,
That's more exciting than my real
okay."
life.
Yeah, matter of fact, I did it and I did it twice. Like, it's
Right.
so funny when you feel so empowered, you don't worry about the petty shit anymore. You're
Right.
in a position of worrying about you, who pays your bills, and just living and loving your life. And I feel like more people want to tear you down when they see you glowing because they just
Yes.
can't help themselves. They can't stand to see other people living the life they want to. But they have the same damn opportunity and the same 24 hours in the same day that everybody else does. It's a matter of what they're
Yes,
doing
ma'am.
with that time. If they're sulking and being miserable, they're gonna stay stuck. They're gonna
Right.
stay stuck.
And I feel the one thing that I can give to the people around me, my experiences, all of the things that I have been through, the one thing that I can give people is inspiration.
Yes.
When I moved back home, Kelsey, I come home with my clothes. I was $30,000 in debt. I
Ugh.
mean, I was in a hard place in life. I worked those 2 or 3 jobs. I
Mhm.
stayed with my parents. I drove around the old Nissan Altima with the
Hey,
hubcaps falling off. Okay, but girl, that was a season. A
it's
and
just a season.
not that those things are the only thing that matter. Those are materialistic things. Those are things that are fluent. You can get those back, you can lose them. But that process just taught me, 1, it's not on you, it's in you, okay?
Yes.
Okay, first of all,
Yes.
thank gosh for my parents who instilled in me work ethic, having respect for other people, having respect for myself.
Yes.
Thankfully, I had that good foundation to give me all those things. But girl, when you get out in the world and you're on your own, it is survival of the fittest out here.
Uh-huh.
And
Uh-huh.
your parents can prepare you for everything in life, but they can't prepare you for things that they've never experienced.
Mm-mm. No.
So I love that even though I've had some tougher experiences, even though I've had to bounce back, I love that people can watch and see, man, just a couple of years ago, I never thought she would have been there. Just a couple of years ago, you were
Yes.
really going through it. And now it's like, this is my testimony now, though.
Yes. Yes, you get to inspire other people. Like the only way from rock bottom is up, as they say. So, you can
Exactly.
only go up from there. And it is so funny. I love you touched on like, my parents maybe didn't live it. And it's so generationally like challenging because what maybe even our parents, and I have super young parents, you have young parents, but like my parents are, I'm pretty sure millennials too. Like, hey, shout out you, Cecil and Jennifer, because you know, but it's funny because I'll be like, oh, like this is so hard. And I'm like, oh, like whatever, like back in our day, and it's like, baby, this ain't back in your day. Like, this is hard out
Exactly.
here. This is
It
hard
is.
out here. You can't live without two incomes 9 times out of 10 and raise a family. Like, you don't get to just have one family car because dad's going to work. Like, it's
Right.
it's so funny how things evolve. And I have an 18-year-old sister, and I even know like for her generation, it's going to be even harder. But I think our
Yes.
generation has the empathy and not the, oh, well, my generation, we had to work, blah, 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 blah. You guys are just entitled. Like, no, like, this shit's hard. It's very hard. I don't
It
know what you want
is.
to say. Yeah, it is.
And like you said, it's changed so much
Yes.
because for our generation, I have been inspired by watching people.
Yes.
Like I've been inspired by, wow, I saw you do that. And I feel like our generation is that generation that's saying, okay, well, that worked for you and that worked for your circumstances. And I respect that and I love that. But those are not my circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
In this day and age, we support people that are creative. We support
Yes.
people that are entrepreneurs. We don't feel like this is the only thing there is. This is the end all be
Mm-hmm.
all. Our
Mm-hmm.
generation is like, no, let's knock down those walls.
Status
Let's
quo
knock
who?
down. Exactly, and
Mm-hmm.
I love that for us because
Yes.
I feel like, yes, even though economy-wise, things going on, that's hard,
Yes.
but we're giving that next generation that push, that
Mm-hmm.
wisdom to say, "You can do whatever you wanna do."
Whatever. Whatever. Like, I saw something the other day and I love it because it's like, we had a generation of, oh, what does your child do, or what are they doing for a living? And it's like, oh, they're a doctor, they're an attorney. And it's like our generation, and I agree with this. When they ask me, what are your children? I hope I get to say happy. Whatever it
Right.
is they're doing,
Ooh,
Happy. I hope I don't have to give any type of therapy bill, SSRI. Like, I hope they're good. I hope, they're good and they're happy, whatever it is that they're doing. Like, I loved seeing that because I'm like, yes, like happy. They are happy. That is
right.
all I want for the next generation. That is it. My kids, your future children, if that's what you decide for yourself, everybody, the next generation, happiness. Because I don't know about you, but our generation has lived through some unprecedented events, and I'm really tired. I'm so tired. I can't. So maybe the next round of kiddos, like, they won't have, all these
They'll have a little more
unprecedented
energy than we do.
yeah,
They
yeah, yeah.
right.
They won't need to be like hooked up to an IV of Red Bull to get through the day. They'll be fine. They'll just be happy serotonin, little happy little tree people. But I do empathize. It's gonna be hard for them, and they're gonna face different challenges. And I'm not gonna compare their challenges to my challenges because it's gonna
Right,
be separate. It's gonna say, "Hey, I went through something similar. Here's how I did overcome that." Not, "Oh, you're just being a baby. You're just." It's hard out here. It is
right.
so hard out here. It is hard, especially for, us women. Like, it is so much harder, especially to have a seat at that table. You have
Right,
to make yourself have a seat at that table 10 times more just because you are a woman. And that is,
right.
we've got, we're flipping the script. Our generation's going to make it. The generation for us, they walked so we could run. We're going to run so the one behind us can sprint and
Yes,
sustain
indeed.
it. That is what we are
Yes.
going to do. Um, I've really loved having you on here. I think before we go, I want you to tell us, obviously, when we're getting that single, I know you've said it before, repeat it, where folks can find you, social media they can find you on. Give us all things Tesia Mae so they know where to come find you after this episode.
Of course. So April 14th, Country Roots, my single will be released. This is a single off of my upcoming EP to be announced for the release date of
Ooh,
the EP. Okay. Um, March 14th from 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. If you check out my Facebook page, you can find the link. I am performing the Tesia Mae Showcase. I will be performing
ooh,
3 of my originals off of my EP with a band, Benny J and Friends in Louisville,
awesome.
for another John Fogel event. John is wonderful. He is bringing high class, next level events to Louisville. I am extremely blessed to be able to be a part of his vision, the
Yes.
entertainment lineup. So that is probably my major see me, find me, come support me. I know to Scott County sometimes Louisville seems like the bigger city.
Sure.
Take a chance, get out of your box. I
Yes.
promise I'm never gonna steer you wrong. I have fun.
Yes, yes, and I love Louisville. We love going down to Nulu. Like, shout out my friends at La Bodeguita de Mima. That is the best Cuban food of your life. Get down there and explore. I know years ago it was
Yeah,
like, oh, Louisville, stay away. Like, no, they're doing big things, and go find Tisha May
exactly.
while you're down there. Okay?
Speaking of finding Tesia Mae, if you find me on Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Tesia Mae 13, you can find me on anything. If you find my music page, Tesia Mae, I have a link tree that gives you every single link to all of my social medias, even my YouTube page where you will find my single that is dropping, my music videos, anything music related. Find me, follow me, please.
We have to support our artists, our independent. I am assuming you're independent, right? Are you an
I
independent
am.
artist?
I
Support
am.
your independent artists. They are going to make the most impact to you. They get to control what they put out to you, and they are self-made. And that is important. We have to support our arts. Like, that is such an important part of what makes the world beautiful. Please support the arts. Please support women in the arts, especially.
Yes.
Go find my girl. I would love to find out that Momstrosity has some folks that go over to your social media, channels. So when we post this, I'll be sure and be like, hey, who went over there and found my girl? Like, let me
Yes.
know. But I'm so, so appreciative of you taking the time out of your very busy busy schedule to be on Momstrosity. I know that the viewers are going to love hearing about you. And I can't wait. The minute I get off here, I'm ready to edit this and get this thing ready to go. She's flying out the door.
And I also just want to take the time to, one, thank you, but also recognize what you're doing. Because, girl, again, after the first episode, you know, I know you discussed it earlier, watching you grow,
Ugh,
watching your life, and seeing this and seeing your honesty, your authenticity, that's awesome. Girl,
uh,
when I saw that first episode, well, first of all, I invited as many people as I could.
you
I
did.
kept talking
You
about it
did.
as much as
Yes.
y'all listen to the podcast yet? Because what are you doing?
What are you doing? Come here. You
But
did.
I
Yeah.
I just I wanna recognize and just tell you how proud of you I am. Keep going. Thank you. Thank you for
Oh,
including me.
yes,
I can't
I'm
wait to see what
so
you do.
glad. I can't wait to see what you do. Like, hello, do you know how special it is that she teased that she's got an EP coming out on Momstrosity? That just makes me feel so special. I've always looked up to you. It was such a pleasure, growing up in such critical like years as a young woman to be around you and get to watch your journey. It's been such a blessing, and I hope you get to continue to bless people through this episode and through your music. I thank you so much for being here. I'm just so glad. But this is Momstrosity Podcast with my girl Tesia Mae. She is wonderful. Please go follow her music journey. And remember, around here at Momstrosity Podcast, we are unhinged, not unaware. I will catch you next time. Happy Women's History Month. We love you. Bye bye.